If you're using standard client-side Google Analytics form tracking, up to 30% of users are completely invisible to you. That's because of ad blockers, Safari's intelligent tracking prevention, VPNs, as well as browsers' privacy restrictions. This is the reality, the client-side reality. Somebody is accessing your website via a browser like Safari, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, but then sometimes the cookies are limited to only 7 days or less, especially on Safari. And then you also have cookie consent banners with high rejection rates, so then you don't collect this data at all. And then you also have ad blockers and VPNs that block scripts and mask IPs, and all of this is going into your poor Google Analytics 4 servers that are receiving incomplete data. So here's how to stop this. You can see that on the left here we have the client-side tracking versus on the right we have server-side tracking flow with Stape. So on the left here you can see that a user is using the browser or device, then the website loads Google Analytics tag via JavaScript, and then this data request goes directly to Google. However, it is blocked by all of these things that we have mentioned before. And you also have third-party cookies that are very short-lived. So that's why you are bleeding a lot of very important data. On the other side, we have server-side tracking with Stape, where somebody is accessing your website. So then they get first-party cookies, which are much more long-lived. And then the website loads first-party tags via JavaScript. Then this is sent to a Stape server container, and it bypasses ad blockers and gives you improved data accuracy. Now let's take a quick look at Stape dashboard so you can fully understand how to set it up and how it all works. Here we are on the Stape dashboard, and you can see that it's running for my website. I have a premium account here, so I can have up to 2 million requests per month. We have a separate container here, and of course a separate domain for our tracking. What is really great about Stape is that it's actually showing you the data that it recovered. As you can see over here, in the last 30 days, we have recovered 15% of traffic that would have been completely lost. So that's a huge kind of ROI gain. And not only that, you can see a kind of breakdown according to, for example, GA4 requests. So you can see that we have recovered 20% of our purchase events that normally would have been blocked via tracking prevention, as well as 3.45 that would have been blocked by ad blockers. So this is actually pretty crazy how much data you can regain that then you can use for in your ad campaigns and other initiatives where you really need to have high quality data. Now over here we have other requests. So the breakdown of total requests and the percentage of requests impacted by ad blockers and tracking preventions, categorized by event type that were claimed by clients other than GA4 and data client. And next, you even have requests from bots. Over here, you can see requests by consent choice. So the breakdown of the GA4 requests received on the server container and the status of the consent from each event. And finally, you can see requests by browser. So you can see how many of these events were recovered from Safari, Chrome, or other browsers. All right, now let me show you how to make this work with Power Apps. These Power Apps are really powerful on Stape, and let me just show you which ones you should enable. The first one is the custom loader. So it makes Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics 4 scripts more resistant to ad blockers and ITPs. So this is crucial and you should absolutely turn this on. You can just click here on configure, and over here you have the code setup and information. Next we have Cookie Keeper. Cookie Keeper extends cookie lifetimes in browsers with the latest versions of ITP, which can shorten cookie lifespans for responses from third-party IP addresses. So this is the really crucial part, especially for Safari. Next, the one I really recommend is user ID. So then you have Stape user ID generated, user ID from IP user agent SSL and other request parameters. So this will help you better target specific users. Next, we have geo headers. So it adds the following headers to requests: XGeo country, XGeo region, XGeo city, IP address, postal code, etc. Next, we have ad blocker info. So this adds an additional header to the request. X user ad blocker. It will return true if an ad blocker is on. It will return false if an ad blocker is off. Next, we have user agent info. That is adding following headers to device mobile, device OS, device browser, etc. And you have actually 21 of these power apps here on Stape, so you can just look through them and configure them according to your liking. Actually, on the account that I'm using, these are the ones that I recommend. All right, now just to manage your expectations, let's take a look at the sessions over time by session and source medium. This is my report in Looker Studio. As you can see here, for yesterday, it's showing loads of traffic that has been unassigned. So you have to remember that it takes 48 hours for Google Analytics 4 to parse all of this data. So make sure to just stay patient and don't use data from yesterday, because then the data is still being harvested, collected, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me just show you a few more things on Stape that might prove useful. So over here we have settings, we have already seen that. Then we have power ups, then we have analytics. So this is where you can see how much data you are recovering. Then you can see your subscription. As you can see here, you have statistics about your usage. It costs around $25 to $50 per month. So it's really cheap. And then over here, you have logs about different events. So you can see all of these Google Analytics events that are happening on your website, which is pretty cool. Over here, you have monitoring, but for that, you need a higher subscription plan. Over here, you have store. And over here you have some extra connections and authentications, but I don't think that for most users this is going to be really useful, because we will be setting everything up via Google Tag Manager. Okay, so now that you realize the power of Stape, let me just quickly show you how to basically set it up in Google Tag Manager. So right now we are in Google Tag Manager. You just go to your regular account and then to admin, and then over here in the container section you click on the plus button. Over here you would say something like server, container, and your website, and then you just click on server and then create. It's really important to manually provision tagging server and then copy the container config string from Stape so that everything gets connected. Okay, so then on Stape, you just go to your main dashboard over here and you click on create as GTM container. And from here, you get that container config string that you copied from your Google Tag Manager. And remember to choose a proper server location that is closest to you. Next, in your server container already in Google Tag Manager, you just go to Clients, and then over here you have GA4. Remember to choose the JavaScript managed and default GA4 paths. Priority can be 0, and this is already your basic client configuration on the server side. You also need to remember to create a proper DNS record. So let's say that we are on Cloudflare. You just go to your DNS record and you need to add a specific CNAME record without the active proxy status for this to work, so that there is a connection between your subdomain and the Stape analytics. If you are using WordPress, Stape also has Google Tag Manager server side for WordPress. So then you can very easily connect your web container to your WordPress website. And then this will be actually injecting that JavaScript code that is then launching your Google Tag Manager. So this will be the only solution that you use on your website to actually kickstart the whole cascade of events from Google Tag Manager and then all of the other tags that you are using on your website. I hope that this basic overview was really helpful for you and that now you are really convinced that recovering your traffic is really important. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and next up you might want to check another video where I talk about getting really high quality generate lead events from your Elementor forms. I'm going to see you in the next one.